Hi again, folks. Rick from the Boondocking Bears. I don't know if you can hear me because I haven't got a remote mic, but I am about ready to finally do our full first test of Prius camping. And I'm here on a friend's property in rural upstate New York, central New York, western New York, something like that. And her name's Kathy. She's going to do Prius camping as well. She's a little shy with the camera, so she's standing behind the camera right now. But we're going to do a full setup. I know I've been a little late coming up with another video, but I've been working real hard getting everything. You can see the Prius behind me. I've got the Napier tent with me. I got Little Bear, happy little dog. And I've got everything except the bike and trailer, which I really didn't need for this, and Bear isn't ready for the bike anyway. But I'm going to do a little time-lapse video showing the tent going up, and then feature some of the equipment that I thought was best for me to be cooking. And as I say, this is a full test, dry run if you want to call it, and we're going to go camping later in the month after making all the adjustments and figuring out all the stuff that I forgot to bring. So enjoy, see what happens. Talk to you soon. Okay, so first off, my standard low-tech disclaimer. What was to be a time-lapse clip of the Napier tent going up has turned into a series of still shots of each step because I messed up the time-lapse camera setting. So sorry about that, but I will get better, folks. Please be patient. And in truth, this was the first opening of the tent bag and setup, so I had no idea what I was doing, and it couldn't have gone any worse. In fact, it ended up taking both of us to get it up and secured and installed correctly. That said, however, it was the first time, and having done it, now I'm confident I can do it again alone, and we'll video that soon. Anyway, okay, so I just received this Napier 86,000 sports tent from Napier Outdoors, and this is the tent I wanted for my Backroads America tour. So now, transparency disclaimer. Napier's head office is near my home, and I had the pleasure of meeting the folks there. Knowing of this channel and that the tent would feature in the videos, they offered me a discount on the tent. So a couple of things. I did not get the tent for free. I paid for it. I also did not agree, nor in fairness did they ask for favorable comments about the tent unless they were justified. So my comments, in whatever direction they go, are mine and uninfluenced except as how the tent fits my needs. And let's face it, it would take a lot more than a tent to buy my integrity. Albeit not much more, but more. And lastly, I have no stake in the tent, excuse the pun. If others buy one, it matters not to me financially in any way. I am not an Amazon affiliate or tied to any camping or RV supplier, so only offer comments to help others, having no dog in the fight. So now, as I've been nattering along, you've seen the tent go up. There were a bunch of steps, and I photographed each as we went, except the one of putting the poles in and struggling to get the tent upright. That took all hands on deck, and Little Bear refused to work the camera. I think next time I'll go back to basics and just turn the camera on and forget all about the fancy slow-mo stuff. I work better toiling under the KISS principle anyway. So as you can see, we rewarded ourselves with some beautiful ribeye steaks grilled over charcoal, which was just delicious, and yes, Little Bear loved them. And before I get to the teardown of the Napier tent, which happened in the morning, obviously, I wanted to talk about three things that I picked up that I thought were really outstanding. And the first is this Lightspeed Outdoors XL self-inflating sleeping and camp pad. This thing is amazing. I love it. It was expensive. It was about 85 bucks US, but it is outstanding. Now, the thing is, I bought the wider one, which was 30 inches. Normally they will come with a 24-incher, and the 24 will fit perfectly in the Prius with just the one seat put down. But I went with a 30-inch because I tend to flop around a little bit when I'm sleeping, so I have to put down both back seats in order to accommodate that. But it was worth it for me. So the beauty of this thing is it rolls up really tight, and when you spread it out and get ready for bed, you just open the two valves at the end, and it self-inflates itself. No electricity, no pumps, it just fills itself up. in a matter of a couple of minutes. And then for the firmness that I wanted, I closed one of the valves and then just blew into it 3 little puffs, got it to the stiffness or the softness that I wanted, closed the other valve, and I had a fantastic night's sleep. So this is a really good product. It's called the Lightspeed Outdoors XL Super Plush Flex Form. It goes on and on. I'll have a link in the bottom, you can have a look at it. But that was one thing that was outstanding. Okay, so real quick, one of the other things I wanted to show you was this new portable, folding flat, camping rocking chair by GCI. I'll put a link below. This thing is amazing because you can use it as a rocking chair on virtually any terrain. It doesn't have to be flat like a traditional rocker. So I want to show you this. I think it's really cool. It was worth the money. Okay, so check out this thing. It's, as I say, by GCI. You can get it on Amazon. It's called the Freestyle Rocker, and you can see it works on these pistons back here, and it folds up very easily so you can camp with it. Has a little place for your drink, and as you'll see, it's a great little rocker. I love it. This thing is very cool. So the next thing I wanted to show you was this Gerber knife, camping knife that I bought. Comes with this little case, has a spot for your belt so you can wear it. Opens it up, and it's a little folding knife, just like that. I love this thing. It's perfect size, and it works. So after a breakfast of coffee and southwestern scrambled eggs with spicy cheddar sausage, we kicked back and reviewed all the things we'd learned. One thing that was apparent right away is that I need 2 of the collapsible white tables that are shown in the video, one for outside and another inside the tent. Storing stuff on the floor of the tent was a pain in the butt. I also learned that separate containers for clothes, food, camp gear, and photography equipment was a good idea, but I need to mix up the sizes better. Turns out I wasted a lot of space. Okay, one thing I forgot to talk about when I was making the video and I'm editing it in now is the cooler. So I bought this Igloo 28 quart cooler, and I love it because when I'm driving I can move the passenger front seat back and it fits perfectly on the floor, which is ideal for 2 reasons. I can grab a drink if I want, and it's also a platform for Little Bear to put his feet up on if he wants to look out the front window. Then when I get to wherever I'm going, I just pull it out. It's got wheels and a handle, so it's easy to move around, and I put it in the tent or in the kitchen area wherever I'm setting up for a meal. Also, I had a rechargeable lantern to hang from the tent ceiling at night with an option for white or red light, and I like the red on while sleeping. I'm used to a light on at home and prefer one while camping too, so need to pick up a couple more of those as the battery ran out during the night. Thank goodness for a head strap lantern, but again, my initial organization wasn't great, and finding it in the Prius at night was an adventure. So now back to the video. So the evening was neither warm nor cold, so I didn't really need the air conditioner or heater on in the car. However, it was extremely damp, so found when I turned on the air conditioner in the car, it circulated the dampness out and made everything very dry and comfortable. So that was good to know. And a subscriber asked in another video if the air conditioner would work enough to leave the hatch open and still work in the tent too. It was a great question, and I was determined to find out, and I am happy to report it did as hoped. I had the hatch open all night and found no issues. Now, as to the primary benefit of Prius camping, meaning sleeping in air conditioning or heat as required, the air conditioner did switch on and off all night between the big battery and the car engine, coming on as expected. So then by morning I noted 2 things. First, it used hardly any gas at all. In fact, I could not even measure how much or how little it used, so that was great. The second thing was that while I noticed only the switch from battery to engine in the night once, Kathy in her tent about 25 feet from the Prius heard it all night long. So that is something to be aware of when setting up camp with others or around people that are light sleepers. The other thing to really be aware of is that when attaching the Napier tent to the Prius, you must keep the car exhaust outside the tent for safety reasons. However, on the Prius, the exhaust is right up against the tent fabric, and that is unavoidable. So to correct this, after returning home, I went to Lowe's and bought a small length of flexible hose to slide over the exhaust pipe and direct any fumes away from getting into the tent. So that's important. So as you can see, for a first night in the Prius Napier combo rig, for the most part things went brilliantly. But I need to really work on organizing everything inside the car and tent better. That part needs work. I definitely will do another video on organizing everything inside later when I get more experience. Now, as for tearing down the Napier tent and packing it away in its satchel, that was much easier than putting it up and took no time at all. The rainfly came off first, then I disconnected the tent from the car, and the rest was pretty simple, much like any other tent. In no time it was done, and presto, everything was ready to be packed into the car for the trip home. All in all, it was a fun experience, though I must admit those ribeye steaks grilled over real charcoal was the highlight for me, and for Little Bear. They were really outstanding. So it was a successful trip. Everything went about as smooth as could be expected, with improvements still to be made. The choice of quote-unquote RV, so to speak, and travel like this was definitely a good one. I also want to say thanks to Kathy for offering her property, camaraderie, and patience. We both learned lots, and since filming this, she's gone ahead and bought a Prius too, with plans to travel in it. So another convert to the Prius camping family. So there you go, lots of fun, and I hope this helps others in their travel choices. As always, thanks for watching. Enjoy, smile, be charitable, and talk to you again soon. Oh, and P.S. After getting home and unpacking, you can see somebody was very happy to be home. What are you doing, crazy dog?